So let's you just mentioned all this activity, but we're going to flip back to March of 2020 because that's when everything comes to a grinding halt. And you basically have to shut down. And at that point, the Kennedy Center is given, I guess, $25 million through the CARES Act. My colleague Peggy McGlone wrote about this very extensively. Um, and you're trying to deal with all these questions on the fly. Tell me what happens in March of 2020 from where your perspective is.
Well, as the city and the country was closing down, we had really no idea. Is this a 6-week venture? Is this a 16-week venture? We had no idea that it would become ultimately an 18-month shutdown, more or less. Because if you think from March of 20 to September of 21, so initially, it was about conserving and understanding what the immediate needs were. It's sort of like a ship. You don't want to just bail water out of the ship. You want to figure out how to preserve the ship so that it can continue to move forward. The CARES Act money came in and was an important lifeline for cash. And that $25 million was used actually literally for cash through the fiscal year and into the early fall. So those dollars that came through an appropriation, and it was really the only way that we could be receiving it. As a federal entity, we actually couldn't receive any PPP. And in the months following, we haven't been able to receive any of the other sources of revenue that so many other arts organizations across the country have been able to access. No PPP, no shuttered venues, no local, statewide funding can come to the Kennedy Center. So we are a unique business model. We're a federal entity, but we operate as a 501c3 in terms of delivering on all of our programs. So it has been really challenging. Cash flow management, making really critical decisions about what kinds of investments we can make. Our operating budget is annually about $230 to $250 million a year, and it will be under $100 million for this fiscal year. And given the lack of earned revenue, we will probably end up with something between $10 and $15 million shortfall in this year. The 25 helped us last year, but we have 9 months of 2021 that has been really challenging for us.